So what's the number one factor in creating a quality recording? Well, this is part B as a follow-up to my previous video. And in that video, I emphasized the performance and the fact that the artist has to do a great performance to get a great quality recording. The other factors include the placement of the microphone and the artist in the room and the acoustics of the room, the microphone itself, the quality of the preamp, and the quality of the analog to digital conversion in the interface. Now, in this video, I want to talk about how easy it is to address all of those different issues and what are the easiest things to fix to get a better quality recording. So, the first thing that I believe is the easiest thing to fix is the placement of the artist with respect to the microphone. So as you can see, as I move this closer or further away, you're going to hear a difference in quality. But if I place the microphone properly, you're going to get a good quality recording. Now, whether you're in the studio, in the booth back there, or whether in your home recording setup, this is something that's pretty easy to address, especially with trial and error, and especially if you have an experienced engineer who can give you some guidance there. Okay. The next easiest thing to solve, and this is depending on your budget, is getting a quality microphone and a quality interface. Okay. Now, a lot of equipment that people use at home these days is pretty decent quality, especially the interfaces. Having said that, depending on your budget, you can get a better mic and maybe even a better interface. And if you're really enthusiastic, you can even maybe get a better preamp that then goes into the interface. And all of these things are easy to address if you have the budget. The thing that's a bit more difficult to address is the acoustics of the room. So in there we have a well-treated vocal booth, and again, that takes some experience as well as some trial and error to get the acoustics of the room ideal. Now sometimes I'll record out here if I'm playing the guitar and doing some vocals here in the control room, and that can also play a factor if you're not in an ideal setting. Sometimes I move myself around, sometimes I'll move the microphone around, and I will experiment a little bit with the placement of the microphones with respect to the guitar and with respect to myself. It's one of the more difficult things to get perfect. But the number one thing, as I discussed in the last video, is the performance and the artist themselves, putting the heart, putting the soul, putting the emotion into it, okay? Channeling the best energy that you can and delivering a great performance. This is the thing that's the most difficult to get right, okay? So the more prepared you are, the more you practice, the more experience you have performing vocals, and the more comfortable you are with vocalizing into a microphone and hearing yourself through the microphone and the headphones, the better quality recording you're gonna get. So that's why I emphasize focus on your performance. Focus on delivering a quality vocal performance, because that is the most difficult thing to get right. The easiest thing to get right is where you're placed in front of the mic. The next easiest thing to get right is getting a good mic, getting a good interface. Even placing yourself in the room appropriately and treating the room acoustically. Those things are a little bit more difficult to get right. But the toughest thing to get really good is your performance. And of course, this depends on your level of experience, depends on how good of a vocalist you are. And even if you're a great singer, it depends on how good you are at performing in the moment. If you're on stage, or whether you're in the studio and the microphone is on, delivering that soulful performance in the moment when you need to, that's also a skill in itself. So focusing on your vocals, focusing on yourself and your performance is, again, the biggest thing that you can do to help yourself get a quality recording. So I hope this helps, and best of luck with all your future recordings. Have a great night.